Iswele tui Africa. We are winning. Shout Uhuru for our freedom. We are winning. We'll dance and sing songs when revolutions won. We are winning. Africa's best daughters and sons. We are winning. Long live the liberation of our African nation. Freedom through organization. Socialist world of creation. 1 billion strong, yes, we are one. We are winning. Red, black, and green for you and me. We are winning. Won't stop the fight till we are free. We are winning. African workers, we must unite. We are winning. Against white power, the parasite. We are winning. Long live the liberation of our African nation. Freedom through organization. Socialist world of creation. 1 billion strong, yes, we are one. We are winning. Viva Iti, who first set us free. We are winning. Carry the torch of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. We are winning. Coup d'etat, tous les cailles. We are winning. We will rejoice when the colonizers die. We are winning. Long live the liberation of our African nation. Freedom through organization. Socialist world of creation. 1 billion strong, yes, we are one. We are winning.
This is the FBI. You have a federal warrant for this address. Keep your hands up and follow orders. This is the FBI. We have a warrant for this.
They handcuffed me and my wife out here. They wanted me to sit on the curb while they were carrying this out, something that I refused to do. They wanted my wife to sit on the curb out here, that she refused to do.
As I was coming out, this big old drone met me.
The only revolutionary organization that's done something here on the ground practically for African people is the one that's come under attack. Institution that offers a community radio station, a newspaper, a commercial kitchen, an Aquaba Hall rental space, and community office for our organizers. That was the building that has come under attack.
Okay, breach, what do you need?
They want.
I don't know.
I was told better money.
Hold on.
Take it.
We will build a movement of white people that says hands off the Uhuru movement.
They see in the African People's Socialist Party a vanguard for the struggle for the liberation of our people. They see that because not just what we do here in the United States, but because we had the temerity to do like Garvey, to do like Malcolm X, and take the struggle of black people around the world.
Uhuru comrades, Uhuru, everyone, we want to appreciate you for being here on today. My name is Mwezi Odom, and I am the chairperson of the Hands Off Uhuru, Hands Off Africa counteroffensive that is waging a serious fight back against the FBI and the colonial state. And we are excited because we are not alone in this struggle. Everyone who has, who understands and unites that there has been a long-standing centuries attack on the freedom of speech of all colonized peoples. And we are looking at what is happening right now with the attacks on Chairman Amalia Shatella on the African People's Socialist Party, which is an extension of the colonial state's attack on the people's right to freedom, the people's right for assembly, the people's right to live and to be self-governing. And so here we are today, joined by many of you, some of you who are new, and we want to welcome you for joining us today. And some of you who have been here since day one, since the violent, vicious FBI attacks on the African People's Socialist Party on July 29th, 2022. So thank you, comrades, for joining us here on today. We do want to say that today's meeting is being live streamed, and this so if you do not want to be seen on camera, please close your cameras, and we do ask that if you are not called on to speak, please keep your mics muted. But nevertheless, we're going to continue on with today's program. We have a very exciting program on today. Today, we are asking the question, will the judge drop the charges? We understand that on well, what is to be known is that this Thursday, the Uhuru 3, which is Chairman Amalia Shatella of the African People's Socialist Party, Penny Hess, who is the chairwoman of the African People's Solidarity Committee, and Jesse Neville, who is the chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, 3 comrades who have been indicted by the US government, will be in court this Thursday. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that because the judge has agreed to oral arguments. We understand that this is part of the counteroffensive to continue to put out to the United States government and expose all of their attacks on the people. And we want you to be there at the courtroom. And you are here today because we understand that not only will we be there at the courtroom, but we are building for the 15th annual Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace and Reparations March on the White House. So you are here because you want to get more information, or you are here to tell us that you unite and that you will be there on November 4th for the 15th annual Black People's March. This march will be taking place not only in Washington, D.C., but there will be mobilizations around the globe. And we're going to talk more about that in upcoming meetings. This meeting will be one of a few more before leading up to the march to mobilize the masses and to bring on some of our dear comrades who, who have been in the struggle for a very long time and who want you to know that you need to be there. So I'm going to continue on with this PowerPoint, but just again, for those of you who are just joining us, on July 29th, the FBI launched military-style raids on 7 homes and properties of the African People's Socialist Party. This happened in 2 cities, in St. Louis, Missouri, and in St. Petersburg, Florida. It is important to understand that the main target of this attack was Chairman Amalia Shatella. So we want to salute Chairman Amalia Shatella because if not for his over 50 years of relentless struggle and work to defend the rights and liberties of the of African people, to say hands off Africa, would he not be at the forefront of the African working class, in the forefront of this and the vanguard of this liberation struggle that has continued and that will be completed, as he has said, and we will see, as the chairman says, freedom in his lifetime. So I want to encourage everybody to share this live stream. You can just send somebody a text message and tell them to go to handsoffuhuru.org. They will find the link to register right now on our website. And they can also go to our events page as well. So again, comrades, thank you for being here. This image here is some of the forces who were on the ground in Washington, D.C. last year, some of the young people, and we have Comrade Rage there as well. So I just want to salute this picture, because here we are again, coming up to a year leading towards the march. So we have a goal today, and we will continue to raise resources for this mobilization of $500 today. You can do this by going to handsoffuhuru.org/donate. If you have any questions, our chat moderators can put this in the chat for you, because we have a goal to raise. In phase one of this fight back against these brutal attacks, we have had to raise resources for legal, for outreach, for everything that is required to wage a fight back against the state that has not only attacked the African People's Socialist Party and the Uhuru movement, but has even waged economic sanctions on many of the institutions. So this fight back in phase one has a goal of raising $277,500. And with your support, from a $1 donation to a $70,000 donation, we are at over close to 80, well, we are at, and slightly over, probably since our last meeting, 88% towards our goal of raising $277,500 for phase one. So I want to salute everybody and let you know how you can contribute. You can do this by going to handsoffuhuru.org/donate. You can also pledge in the chat the amount that you would like to donate if this is not the best time, but you do want to make it known that you are here and that you are standing with this, with this fight back. So again, comrades, for those of you who have been joining us and maybe have not been up to date on what's been happening, the Uhuru 3 has a bad legal defense team. And here is an image of Chairman Amalia Shatella and Attorney Leonard Goodman, who was representing one of the Uhuru 3, and he filed a motion to dismiss, which literally shredded the prosecution's case. And this motion to dismiss, which was submitted by Leonard Goodman back in July, can be found on the website at handsoffuhuru.org/motion to dismiss. And this will be heard by the judge in the Middle District of Tampa on this Thursday, September 28th. We want all the people to come out. You should be there by 9 a.m. because we understand that this is a victory nonetheless, and that we will continue to push back and make the demand to drop the charges against the Uhuru 3. So we want to encourage everybody to come out for this, for the court hearing, the oral hearings, again, in the Tampa Middle District, the federal courthouse that's at 801 North Florida Avenue in Tampa, Florida. Again, come show your support in the courthouse, make the demand to drop the charges against the Uhuru 3, and continue to check back on our website for any details. Right now, it's important to, for those of you who don't know, Amalia Shatella, chairman of the African People's Socialist Party, has just released, within the past month or two, the reprint of The Verdict is In, Reparations Now. This book this is the 40th anniversary edition of this book, which is a report from the 1982 World Tribunal on Reparations to African People in the U.S. at a time with a panel of international judges and testimonies from the African working class, found and charged the United States guilty of genocide using international law from the UN Convention for the Prevention and Crimes of Genocide, saying that the United States was due for African people $4.1 trillion in stolen labor alone. This is evidence. This is what we will use and continue to use to show the United States that what Amalia Shatella has been fighting for, what the African working class, what every organization that has come under attack, and what all the people are fighting for is to expose this state for its predatory wars and attacks on the people. So we want you to order your copy. You can go to the burningspear.store to order a copy of Reparations Now. You can also follow the chairman on his book tour as well. So part of, helping to bring everybody into this process of the 15th annual Black is Back Coalition March on the White House, we want you to go to we want to say that the Hands Off Uhuru Fight Back Coalition, which was founded on July 8th of this year, is made up of over 40 organizations which have united with the call to build this anti-colonial free speech movement. These are organizations that, a non-sectarian coalition of organizations that unite with the attacks on free speech. And that is the character of this coalition. And we are taking everybody to November 4th to the White House. And we want you to go to blackpeoplesmarch.com. This is where you can find more information about the march. You can get your housing. You can pretty soon we're going to have some of the speakers and the program that will be up there too. Again, we also will have a pre-rally on the night before. We want you to come to that, bring your issues to the forefront. We are very excited about this year's march, and literally thousands of people have, we want to see thousands, and we know that we will see thousands there this year to make this a reality. So before we go any further, comrades, just again, we have a goal to raise today of 500. We want you to go to handsoffuhuru.org/donate. And again, asking the question, will the judge drop the charges? So I want to take a quick moment. We're going to bring up some other forces that are on this call with us. But before we go any further, I do want to, say that as we build for November 4th, I want to acknowledge actually some of the forces who will be there. And in particular, I want to acknowledge Garland Nixon. Garland Nixon, who hosts the Garland Nixon Show on Pacifica Radio, who was one of the first people to interview the chairman following the raids. Garland will be there. Who else is going to be there on November 4th? Chrisley Carpio from the Tampa 5. If those of you who don't know what is happening with the Tampa 5, please, you need to follow up and see the attacks on a group of students who are defending the right to have, diverse education being taught in the schools. The Leonard Peltier Ad Hoc Committee, we want to see, and we look forward to seeing comrades Jennifer from the Leonard Peltier Ad Hoc Committee, who's actually been on this call, as well as comrades Paulette and Director David Hill. And again, we want to say that we're going to shout out some more organizations that are going to be there with us on today. And I have the pleasure of also welcoming on other comrades such as Janine Africa, who is joining us, and Margaret Flowers, and some others as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Comrade Penny Hess, who is the chair of the African People's Solidarity Committee, one of the Uhuru Three, who has worked under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, Chairman Omali Yeshitela in particular, for over 40 years, when the APSC was founded in 1976. So it's a very big honor to have you here with us today, Comrade Penny Hess. Uhuru.
Uhuru, thank you so much, Chair Mwezi. And that, as always, a very dynamic opening to this really important meeting. And I'm very excited about being part of and being able to join the Black People's March on Washington, which is the 15th annual Black is Back March on Washington on November 4th. So looking forward to that. And I know that we were going to start with just brief statements that we have. Do we have those? Do we know if we have those statements? We were going to have a statement from Margaret Kimberly of Black Agenda Report and Comrade Afia Ngwanza of the Malcolm X radio station in North Carolina, and they're very powerful. So are we able to play those? Do we know?
Uhuru, the recording with Afia is not on for right now, but we do have the video for Margaret, which will be queued up in just a moment.
All right, and we want to thank people for doing these brief promos for the November 4th. Very powerful.
Uhuru, this is Margaret Kimberly. All out on Saturday, November 4th for the 15th annual Black People's March on the White House, sponsored by the Black is Back Coalition. Drop the charges on Omali Yeshitela, chairman of the African People's Socialist Party, leader of the Uhuru movement. On July 29, 2022, the FBI launched pre-dawn raids on 7 properties of the Uhuru movement in 2 cities using assault weapons, flashbang grenades, and drones. The chairman and 2 others, known as the Uhuru 3, have been indicted by the U.S. government and face federal charges. Chairman Yeshitela has said, "The FBI wants to put me on trial for fighting for Black freedom. Put the colonial state on trial, we will win." An attack on free speech for Chairman Omali Yeshitela is an attack on everyone's free speech. March under the banner of the anti-colonial free speech movement. Register for the Black People's March on the White House on Saturday, November 4th at blackpeoplesmarch.com or go to handsoffuhuru.org. Drop the charges against the Uhuru 3 and power to the people.
Uhuru. Uhuru. Want to appreciate Margaret Kimberly for that recording and for lending her voice and skills to this fight back. And we are looking forward to putting out some more promos from the supporters of this fight back. Uhuru, Comrade Penny.
Uhuru, just really, really excited to be here again and know that we are working to build this historic November 4th, 15th annual Black is Back, Black People's March on Washington, on the White House on November 4th. We're here to organize for that, and it's very, very exciting. And we have to take this on to win the state, to push back the state attacks on the African Liberation Movement, on Chairman Omali Yeshitela, and on the Uhuru 3 and on the Uhuru movement and fight for the anti-colonial free speech movement. First of all, recognizing that the struggle against colonialism is what opens the door for freedom of speech and freedom of assembly and First Amendment rights for all people. And if we don't fight back and we allow the state to in any way harm or come out against Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the African People's Socialist Party and African Liberation Movement, that will be the end of freedom of speech for everyone. We must fight for this and recognize that the African People's Socialist Party and Chairman Omali are out in front. And this is why that they have been attacked. And, you know, just want to say that I'm very honored, very, very honored to be here. And so I want, just want to say that. And I know that we have the honor of welcoming with us today, Janine Africa. Yes. And Chairman Wazy, do you want to say a few things and welcome Comrade Janine Africa with us today?
Uhuru, thank you, Comrade Penny. And Uhuru, Sister Janine Africa, I want to welcome you and just give the people a brief introduction. Janine Africa is from Move 9 from Philadelphia. And what's important to note is that Janine Africa survived the deadly government attacks on Move, and was recently released after serving a bogus colonial prison sentence of 40 years. And we just really want to appreciate you for being here and for your long-standing struggle. You are still here, and we're going to fight to, make it a world where we can all live a life that we are worth living. And Comrade Janine, we want to appreciate you. And I know you're going to take a moment to just speak speak to the movement of freeing Mumia Abu-Jamal. So we thank you for being here, and I'll turn it over to you. Uhuru.
On the move, everybody.
Yes.
This March, November 4th, is very important, and people need to see this because you're not going to get justice from this system. It was shown May 13th when they bombed my family and killed our family. It was shown when they attacked us August 8th, 1978, and put us in jail for 41 years for a crime we didn't commit. And it's evident with Mumia. Anybody that has the spine, the determination to speak out against this system becomes a target. But meanwhile, these attacks on Mumia were videotaped. The attack August 8, 1978 was videotaped. The bombing May 13th was videotaped. Yet not one cop, one official spent a day in prison was made to answer for what they did. And the same with Mumia. His wasn't taped, but he had witnesses that came forth and said he did not do it. But despite this, Mumia is in jail and has been in jail for 40 years. And on the thing that makes it so bad and people need to see, they just killed a Spanish boy in Philadelphia, Eddie Irizarry. And first of all, they lied and said that he got out the car and attacked the cop, and so they shot him. But the videotape shows that the man did not get out the car, and this cop, Mark Dow, shot this boy 6 times. Now, despite this video, today a judge dismissed all charges against the cop. So the cops are in the courtroom cheering, screaming and hollering, and the boy's family is sitting in the courtroom crying. The mother's hysterical. This is what this system feels about people. And they're showing you how they feel about people, and they're showing you what you can expect when it comes to the people against their police. And that y'all gotta go to the streets, because if not, they have their way, they will try to put O'Malley and the other two people from your organization in this struggle, they will try to put them in jail for a long, long time. And people need to understand this, understand what's happening here. Mumia was shot, almost killed, yet he's in prison. This cop shot this boy 6 times and killed him and lied about it. And he gets acquitted of all charges. The man that beat my brother Delbert, August 8, 1978, the 3 cops, that's shown on video. They beat him almost to death in the streets. They were all acquitted of all charges. So people need to see this and understand the importance of this March, November 4th. You can't rely on the courts. You got to put pressure on the courts. John F. always had moved people say, put pressure, keep pressure on this system to make them do what's right. Because if they feel like they can get away with it, that's what they're going to do. And if they think they can get away with putting the Uhuru 3 in prison, that's what they're going to do. People have to show them that they're not going to stand for it. Put as much pressure as you can on these officials. Take it to the White House and make them answer for the cops that's running rampant and killing people. Make them answer for the FBI that's targeting people that want to fight for what's right. The Uhuru 3 ain't out there encouraging crime, drugs, murder. They're fighting for what's right, for freedom. And this is how they're mistreated. But this is the pattern of this system. And people got to understand this. If you can't do anything but make a phone call, write a letter, do something to let this system know that you are not tolerating no more May 13th bombings, no more COINTELPRO raids, no more injustice against people by this system. You got to let them see it, because if not, they will run over you, because this is a police state. Make no mistake about it. It's a police state. And people are going to have to put their foot down and show this government, this system, that they won't tolerate it no more. Mumia has done enough time in jail. It's time for him to come home. And we got to fight so that they don't put the Uhuru 3 in prison. It's time for people to show and use the power that they have, because the people are the majority. This government is the minority. And y'all got more power than you realize. Look at what y'all did. Y'all helped get our family, get us out of prison when we was told we would never get out of prison. We did 41 years, but we still got out of prison because the people fought alongside my family and got us out. And you can do this with everything. People use the power, because that statement, the power's in the people, is true. You got it, use it. Anybody that can show up November 4th, show up and fight for your freedom. On the move.
On the move. Uhuru. Uhuru, Sister Janine, yes. And like you said, put the pressure on. And I just really want to appreciate that call to November 4th, that call for us to wake up and to internalize the importance of this moment and the power of the people. And, you know, one of the things that comes to mind from just listening to what you were saying, sis, is, you know, something that the chairman has said is that the system is not broken. It's functioning as it should. And as you said, this system will not give us anything that we want. And it is up to us to just kick it, just take it off the ledge and to replace it with a, with a way of life that gives everybody the basic to feed, clothe, and house ourselves and to be self-determining. So I just want to appreciate you, sis, and just really unite. And we're glad you're here, and we're going to bring everybody home. So Uhuru, thank you, Janine. And we hope you can stay with us for the remainder of this very brief program.
On the move.
On the move, Uhuru. So I'm going to turn it to Comrade Penny. Back to you, Uhuru. Oh, and you're muted.
Uhuru, can you hear me? All right. I just really want to thank and salute Janine Africa, and it was very powerful. I was in Philadelphia at a Uhuru Furniture event this past week, and it was an honor to have Janine Africa there, Ramona Africa, and others of the Move 9, and incredible, fierce fighters. And yes, we must fight for the freedom of Mumia Abu-Jamal and an end to the attacks on African people, just for living their lives in a city that, you know, just tortured and burned down entire African neighborhood to silence the members of the Move family. So I just really want to thank you and express my deepest unity with the struggle of the Move 9 and Mumia Abu-Jamal. And next, it is an honor to be able to introduce Dr. Margaret Flowers, who is a mother, a pediatrician, and a fighter for free speech and peace, an anti-war, and a supporter of the struggle of the anti-colonial free speech movement. And Margaret is the founder of Popular Resistance. And Margaret's going to tell us a little bit about the struggle to free Julian Assange and Alex Saab. And just really welcome you, Margaret. Thank you so much for coming on. It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you so much, Penny and Moise. It's been wonderful to work with you. And at Popular Resistance, we are 100% behind your struggle to form this anti-colonial free speech movement. Very important, as well as defending you as you go through this process of being indicted from experience, not facing as serious charges as you're facing, but it is very draining time-wise and emotionally to go through this process. So my heart is with you. I just wanted to comment quickly on the struggles around Julian Assange and Alex Saab, because they're more examples of how the United States government completely ignores law, rights, due process in going after anybody that it sees as challenging its agenda. And of course, Julian Assange is someone who helped to create WikiLeaks, which is a platform where people from around the world could leak information. It was then, as any responsible publishing outlet would do, it was verified and redacted before being posted, but then it was available. Documents were available to people all around the world to see for themselves, to analyze, and to write and talk about. And of course, a big part of that was exposing war crimes by the United States. And as a result of that, the US has been going after Julian Assange for more than a decade now. And so his process of fighting being extradited to the United States is coming to a very dangerous point. He has exhausted his appeals process in the United Kingdom. He has one last appeals hearing. The for that returns October 2nd to session, and they could hear that that appeal anytime after that. The way that it's being set up, for the last appeal, Assange's lawyer submitted 150 pages of documents to the court arguing why he should not be extradited. And the judge kind of dismissed it all, responded very tersely, did not respond to their arguments. And now for this final hearing, they're only giving them 20 pages of documentation and 30 minutes for the entire hearing. So it sounds like it's just being completely set up as another denial of his appeal. So at that point, they could put him on an airplane and send him to the United States right away. Of course, this is a completely political case. Assange is innocent. And so it all depends on whether the Biden administration wants him to come, during kind of an election season. So we don't know. We're preparing emergency actions in the case that we hear he's being extradited. And there's a call to action at popularresistance.org if you want to sign on to that. And just quickly for folks to be aware of Alex Saab. Alex is a Venezuelan diplomat who in June of 2020, shortly after the pandemic began, was traveling to Iran to purchase medications and food for Venezuelan people because the US's economic war against Venezuela has decimated its pharmaceutical industry, devastated its economy in many ways, prevented them from being able to get access to the things that they need. And they've worked closely with countries like Iran to get around, countries that have had the courage to stand up to the United States economic blockade and continue to trade with Venezuela and provide support to them. And so he was, his plane was forced to land in Cabo Verde. He was detained when his plane landed there illegally by the United States. He was kept in very poor conditions. Someone who has cancer while he was in Cabo Verde, and then he was kidnapped and brought to the United States without even his lawyers being notified that that was going to happen, and has been in prison down in Miami, Florida, where they've denied him recognizing him as a diplomat because the United States has not recognized President Maduro as the president of Venezuela, and so they've used that as justification. And so he continues to have some health issues and to be denied his rights down in Miami. So Free Alex Saab is the movement around Alex Saab. And so I look forward to being with you doing what I can to promote the rally. And I think that we all have to fight together against this egregious overreach and behavior by the United States government. So thank you so much, and Uhuru.
Uhuru, Margaret, thank you so much. That was really important for us to hear, and it's really important for this to be part of the whole movement, the Black People's March on Washington, these issues, these campaigns to free Alex Saab and Julian Assange must be brought into this march. And we really, really appreciate your support and all the work that you do, Uhuru.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn it back over to Chair Mwezi for another important.
Yes, and I just want to, join you, Comrade Penny, and just appreciating Margaret for that report, and that we will continue to hear updates about, all these cases that we will be bringing to November 4th. And we do have mobilizations that will be taking place in London. I don't know if Luwezi Kinshasa is on with us as well, but if he is, he may be able to give just a brief overview as well about what is happening.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we do have Belinda Parker Brown with us next.
Yes, I see her. Yes, I see Sister Belinda. And even before we go there, thank you, Comrade Penny. I do want to just acknowledge some of the donations that have come in, because some people are already going to handsoffuhuru.org/donate. And so far, we want to say that we have raised at this point $235 towards our $500 goal. Uhuru, I want to appreciate MQ for kicking it off with your $100 pledge. We want to appreciate Allison for your $100 $100 donation. John McCarthy, thank you, Comrade John, who was a part of the Fight Back Coalition, with your $15 donation. Lisa, for your $20 donation, that takes us to $235. Let's go to handsoffuhuru.org/donate and help to build this fight back. So Uhuru, and I'm going to, since we do have Sister Belinda Parker Brown on, I'm very excited and very honored to welcome my sister, who I met for the first time at the march last year, and I look forward to being on the ground with you again. Belinda Parker Brown is the founder of Louisiana United International and is also a member, a fierce member of the Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations, and is here to give us more reasons why we need to be on the ground at the White House on November 4th. So I want to salute and appreciate you, Sister Belinda Parker Brown. And there's so much more I could say, but you will find out for yourselves why she is so bad. Oh, Sister Belinda, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm trying to open up my camera.
Okay, let me see. I'm going to press
open the camera. But I'm here. Okay,
we hear you.
I can start my video. All right. I am so excited to be here with you all today. Oh, wow, this is awesome. I'm telling you, people, this is a great time for all of us. It is an opportune time for all of us here, especially Black people here in the United States of America. And behind me, you can see the bus. The bus is filling up for November 4th. The bus is filling up. You know, we're here in Louisiana, and, you know, I just want to salute the Uhuru 3. I'm telling you, for such a time as this, you know, they picked on the right people to deliver. It's time to deliver, people. You know, Black people here in America, you know, we've been standing on the sidelines waiting to do something. If it's ever been a time to do something now is that time. Because November 4th, like, you know, I'm here to tell you, it's going down. You know, it's going down. People coming from all over the world to stand with us. You know, we're talking about, you know, some people are just fed up. You know, we are fed up with the marching, the crying, the begging, the give me this, give me that, do this, do that. Now it's not about what they're going to do. It's about what we're going to do. And that's why November 4th is so critical for us, people. It's so critical. I mean, it is going to be a tremendous impact on what we've been waiting for so long. You know, it's time to deliver. That's my favorite word right now for 2023. It's time to deliver for the Black people here in the United States of America to stand together so that we all can be free. You know, that's what it's coming down to. And we're not just talking, because that's been the problem that's been helping us lose. Everybody want to talk about, you know, what they did and how they did it and when they did it. You know, now it's time to do something, get involved, and make a tremendous impact on November 4th in Washington, D.C. Now, some of you saying you're not going to march no more. I know you're saying it, because I didn't say it. I'm tired. I'm tired of marching. And that's the reason why I'm saying I'm not asking permission anymore. We're demanding what's rightfully belong to us now. It's time for us to deliver all the things that we've been waiting for so long, our freedom, you know, our reparations, our liberty, people. And we're not going to stand on the sidelines. And we're not going to stay at home and watch TV and play the video games, because I know some of y'all just want to stay at home and watch TV, play video games, you know, eat. You know, I tell my children, food is not everything. It's not everything, people. Okay, it's come a time in your life where you have to realize that if you really want to see the necessary change that we all been waiting on for, it's time to get involved. It's time to do something. Get on the bus for November the 4th in Washington, D.C. The bus is filling up. I'm telling you. And if you ever wanted to do something, this is the time to do something. You can organize your own bus to come to Washington, D.C. Wherever you are on this, in this country, you can organize your own bus to come to Washington, D.C. And we're here to help you. The Uhuru 3 is here to help you get on the bus November the 4th with us, united. And we're not just talking. This is a solution. This is the method to this madness that we all been standing on the sideline waiting for. You know, I heard the Chairman O'Malley say that, you know, what they don't want us to know is what we're going to let them know about. You know, here in Louisiana, we had a vicious murder. Ronald Green, on video, beat to death by police officers. And they lied and covered it up. They told his mama that he ran into a tree and had a crash. When the man was being beat and crying out for his life, he called on Jesus. He called on his mama. He told them, he said, please don't kill me. I'm your brother. I love you. And they beat him to death and bragged about how they beat the ever-living effing out of him. They don't want us to know that. But we're saying we're not going to tolerate that no more. Because the governor here in the state of Louisiana covered it up, complicit himself in the crime. From the governor's office on down, they sanitized their phones. I said they sanitized their phones, people, because they was having conversation back and forth with high-ranking officers, high-ranking lieutenants, majors, the ambulance service, the coroner. All of them was in on it, how they covered up this man's death. That's what they don't want us to know. So we're saying get on the bus November the 4th because this is the solution to this madness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Freedom.
Uhuru. Yes. Like, just really want to salute you, Sister Belinda. And one thing you said, I mean, there's so much that you said, but just you're reiterating what the chairman had said about what they don't want us to know. That is what we bring to this march. And, you know, again, we want to appreciate, we want to invite people that on the day before, we're going to have a pre-rally. And what a great opportunity to come and to share about these types of these types of attacks that happen on the people that they don't want us to know about. And so I just want to say that we are defining what history looks like, what the present looks like, and we're taking all that to the White House. So Sister Belinda, I just want to salute you. And yes, the bus is filling up. I love that background.
You know, I want to say one more thing too, that, you know, people, I want the people to know that it is critical. Yeah. You know, it is critical for such a time as this, because when I think about the Uhuru movement, that, you know, the attack on them, where they have stood in the forefront to fight for our freedom, our liberties, and reparation, and bringing solutions to our communities. You know, all the great things that they have done. You know, I think about our forefathers in the past where, you know, they were assassinated and they were murdered for speaking out and having, you know, community events to bring self-sustainability, you know, where people can actually be able to, you know, take care of themselves and do things for themselves. Black people, you know, how, you know, revitalizing our dilapidated communities, you know, all of these great things that the Uhuru movement have been doing to bring self-sufficiency for African people, you know, and for them to be up under this horrendous attack, You know, I'm telling you people, it is a disgrace for the United States. It's a disgrace for our government to feel as though that they can do something like this and think they're going to get away with it while we stand on the sidelines and watch them do this. You know, I was young. I couldn't do anything about the assassination of Dr. King, but I'm here to tell y'all, we can do something about this attack on the Uhuru movement. And I like what our sister Africa said, that it's time for us to realize that we are the people that have the power to push back on this type of attack when it comes to our people that are fighting for us, freedom for us, and let them think that they're going to get away with this. Not on my watch. And it should not be on nobody's watch. Long as our eyes is open, and like my grandmother said, that the blood is running warm in our veins, we are not going to stand and watch them do this to our great fearless leaders that are helping us obtain self-sustainability and freedom here in America. Thank you. I had to get that out.
Yeah, right on. We're gonna honor them.
For my people. Much love, much love.
Yes.
I'm not a mad, angry woman. I'm just
Yes,
excited.
It's okay if you are, because I am one, Sister Belinda, and you know, we have to.
I'm upset though. I'm upset. I'm really upset about this. Okay,
yes,
and that's not good for nobody that thinking they're gonna get away with this.
Right, right. And we're not gonna, you know, we're gonna honor our leaders and the fighters right now in this moment while they are here with us and not on some holiday. You know, we're gonna make it happen. So I want to really appreciate you, Sister Belinda, for just adding that intervention. And I'm gonna turn it over to Comrade Penny Hess, because as we said, we say hands off Uhuru, which means hands off freedom. We say hands off Africa. And so we want to, you know, we're going to go over across the Atlantic. We're going to bring in very special comrade who's going to tell us about how this mobilization is stretching across the globe. Uhuru.
Uhuru again. Wow, what an honor to hear Comrade Belinda Parker Brown. Always so inspiring and makes you want to fight for freedom and liberation for African people and reparations. So just really want to thank you. And I'm very, very inspired about that. And I'm very honored to be able to bring with us from London, the Secretary General of the African Socialist International, talking about the actions that are going to take place in London on November 4th. Uhuru, Secretary General, Luwezi Kinshasa. Welcome.
Chair Mwezi, Co-Chair Penny, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Uhuru.
Yeah, I won't be long because I'm chairing the 4 November committee, which basically is supposed to be open now. So I'll be very, very quick. I just want to say we are mobilizing here in London. We have participation from Germany, from France, and support from Belgium. And I just want people to really understand the significance of the chairman, Magistrate and the African People's Society Party in the Uhuru movement. I'll just give a few examples. You might have seen an image of an African woman being attacked by a merchant, by a Southeast Asian merchant in London. And we didn't organize that demonstration, but 2 things came out of that demonstration. One is the main slogan. The main slogan is touch one, touch all. And that is Chairman of my slogan. Over 20 years ago in London, when he came here, he introduced that slogan, and that slogan is going around Europe. You know, even in France, that do use it. Or the people speak French, as you know, in France, but they do use touch one, touch all. And also the British press reacted to that aggression because the Black community decided you can't attack a Black woman in the Black community like that. And so we sum it up. We say it's a parasitic merchant. That's what those merchants are. And the British press disagreed with us. You know, they really picked up on that. Now they say we're creating tension between Africans and Southeast Asian because we characterize their shops, their stores, the merchant stores basically as parasitic. But you know, they're using colonialism, to accumulate money. The relationship is parasitic. There is no way you can get around that. And that's really a point. The British press, is denouncing the Black community, but these are lines. We are the one who put it out. And this is the influence of Chairman Amadi too. And in Africa, the question of Africa, you begin to see some African president saying that they are not pro-Chinese or against China, or they're not pro-US or against US, or pro-Russia or against Russia. They are pro-Africans. Chairman has been the only one, I know, consistently putting the question of Africa on the map, and we begin to see that's going, everywhere. People begin to say colonialism, people begin to say Africa fighting back and things like that. That's the influence. But just to be short, right at the moment, we are really working hard to get a really strong committee so we can maximize our outreach, so a lot of people can come out on the 4th of November in London, and then also they can come to the conference. We're having a conference. First, we're having a demonstration between 12 noon and 2 p.m., and then we want to have a conference in the evening. So we want these two events to be successful, so we can consolidate basically the work we're doing here to build our party. But overall, we're trying to build the community and to get a strong presence outside the U.S. embassy, and also we're trying to win everybody, every Africans, everybody to understand that the United States is definitely the main contradiction. If you say colonialism is the main contradiction, then the head of it is the United States. Every contradiction leads to the United States, wherever you are in Africa. And that's why it's important that we're trying to galvanize every single community, be from Congo, from Senegal, from Niger, born in the UK, everybody has to be there. That's what I can say now, because as I said, I need to go to the meeting I'm chairing, which needs to be chaired 5 minutes ago. So I appreciate the time I was given, so I can't stay long, so I have to go to the other meeting. So drop the charge against Uhuru 3.
Uhuru. And if you're in London, get to that meeting with SQ Louise. Yes, Uhuru, thank you so much. Touch one.
Touch all.
Touch all. Uhuru, comrades. And just wanted to say that the flyers for the November 4th London mobilization can be found on the blackpeoplesmarch.com/outreach. And if you scroll down, you'll see the flyers for London. They are taking all of the calls and demands in ways in which we are saying hands off Africa. You can see some of those on the back side of the flyer, which are there when you open that up. Thank you. Our chat moderators have put that in the chat, and you can go to blackpeoplesmarch.com/outreach. You can also find it on the hands off page as well. So Uhuru, Comrade Penny, we are moving along in the program. We are doing great on time. We're just gonna kind of speed through the next section. But I did want to just mention we have one more donation. This came from Raya, that a $20 donation. So we are at $255 towards our $500 goal for today. So I want to appreciate Comrade Raya for that donation. Uhuru. All right. So next up is we just want to again remind everybody that this is the 15th annual Black People's March on the White House, hosted by the Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations. And we just really want to salute those who have been on this call, who are members of the Black is Back, and just the profound leadership of this coalition, which has led this march for 14 years in a row, following the selection of Barack Hussein Obama, saying that that's not enough, that we need a coalition. And as we said, Black is back. So we just really want to salute the Black is Back coalition. And again, remind everybody that, again, with the Hands Off Uhuru coalition sponsoring this, co-sponsoring this mobilization, we have a list of demands that you can find on, if you go to handsoffuhuru.org/coalition. These demands are what we are taking to the White House, to the mobilization. And again, you can find them at handsoffuhuru.org/coalition. There are a list of 8 demands that are on there, and I'm going to just read them very briefly, and we can also pull them up on the website if anybody would like to read along. So again, the Hands Off Uhuru Fight Back Coalition, these are the demands that we're taking. Demands that all charges be dropped on the Uhuru 3 and for all those targeted and politically imprisoned by the U.S. colonial state. We defend the democratic right of the African People's Socialist Party and the Uhuru movement to advocate and organize for the total liberation and reunification and self-determination of Africa and African people worldwide. We denounce all FBI and US government raids, politically motivated indictments, arrests, surveillance, slander, and attacks against the Black liberation movement, as well as all anti-colonial movements and social justice, anti-war, anti-imperialist, and free speech organizations, individuals, and movements, as exemplified by the attacks that we can see on Stop Cop City and the Tampa Five. We demand the right to the freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, to struggle to build our movements for justice, peace, liberation, and unity of all people. And we demand the right to speak out and associate with our allies without fear of reprisals from the US government and the colonial state. We demand the release of all political prisoners, including Leonard Peltier, Jalil Al-Amin, Mumia Abu-Jamal, Ed Poindexter, many others. We just heard today, Julian Assange drop all charges on Assata Shakur. We demand that all candidates and political parties contesting in the 2024 presidential election and other elections adopt these demands to drop the charges against the Uhuru 3 and other targeted organizations, whistleblowers, and individuals. Number 7, we demand an end to the US government attacks on the Mexican, Navajo, and other indigenous peoples, occupied Palestine peoples, the Filipino people, African people in Haiti, Alex Saab, the people of Venezuela, and an end to the blockade on Cuba, and the demand to lift the travel bans and the designation of Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism. And number 8, we demand the immediate cessation of US funding on the war in Ukraine, and that the billions of dollars being spent for that carnage be paid towards the long overdue reparations demand by Black people. So these are the demands that we are taking to the White House. We want to salute the coalition who united with these demands, and we're going to just take a moment to, just read off, and Comrade Penny and I will just take a moment to say who we want to see and who we look forward to seeing at November 4th. So Penny, I'll turn it over to you. Uhuru.
Uhuru, thank you, Chairman Wasey. Well, this is just a partial list, and we want many, many more people and organizations to this, but these are some of the forces who have been incredibly supportive of Hands Off of Uhuru and have really played a role in this and are fighting for very, very powerful fronts of the African liberation movement and other incredible fronts of the anti-colonial and free speech movement and anti-war movement. So we're looking forward. We're really, just working to win Cornel West as a candidate, as a Green Party candidate to participate on November 4th. And we also are looking forward to seeing the comrades from the Bethesda Cemetery Coalition, and COBRA, the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations, the December 12th movement, the powerful December 12th movement that was on the front lines of a huge press conference in New York City last year, right after the raids, just bringing all kinds of organizations together for that, something very much appreciated by Hands Off Uhuru. Also, friends and family of Mumia Abu-Jamal, we just heard, and of course the Move 9, and we just heard Janine Africa speaking about that. Now, Louisiana United International, which is led by the powerful Belinda Parker Brown, who gave us those powerful, inspiring words, and the United African Peoples Organization, and Zaki Baruti here in St. Louis. And go ahead, take it over, Chairman Wasey. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so I would just finish here. The People's Organization for Progress out of Newark, powerful comrades there. The Leonard Peltier Ad Hoc Committee, and Unión del Barrio, working for the liberation of indigenous Mexicano people inside the United States and in this hemisphere. Uhuru.
Yes, thank you. I was having a hard time unmuting, so thank you for taking us through that list. And we also look forward to seeing, representatives of the Defense for Julian Assange, the Tampa 5 and the SDS, the Students for Democratic and Socialism, as well as Anak Bayan, the Malaya Movement, Troika Collective, we're calling on you, CUNY for Palestine, the National Lawyers Guild, which we look forward to continuing to build and to bring, all the forces in, the LA Hands Off Cuba Committee, the Alex Saab and the Hands Off Venezuela, SWP, the Socialist Workers Party, UNAC, the Green Party, Code Pink, and many, many more. And I know, Comrade Penny, there is some more information coming up around white people, marching under this coalition. And I don't know if you wanted to say anything about that as well.
Uhuru, thank you. Yes, I just wanted to say briefly that there will be a reparations contingent at the Black People's March on the White House at the 15th annual. And we're calling on white people who want to take a stand and show that we are in solidarity with the African Liberation Movement, drop the charges on Chairman Omali Shatella, and reparations to African people. Join us on the reparations contingent. And you can find out more. You can be in touch with us at info@uhurusolidarity.org. info@uhurusolidarity.org. Let us know that you would like to join this contingent, and we will be in touch with you. Very excited to be there November 4th. It's really important that there is a stand from the white community that says hands off Uhuru, hands off Africa, and solidarity with the anti-colonial free speech movement. Uhuru.
Uhuru, thank you so much, Comrade Penny. And we're just gonna, continue to wrap up this section with just a quick announcement that this mobilization, as we have mentioned, will also be a bi-coastal mobilization. You'll hear more about this, but on the West Coast, for those forces who are out here, we have many as well who are looking to build the West Coast mobilization for the for the 15th annual Black People's March. So we're very excited about that. There are committee meetings that have already begun. And if you want more information about that, please put that in the chat. If you are not able to make it to DC, but we want everybody there. But if you have forces on the ground in this side of these United States, send them to this coalition, to the building of this Black People's March on the West Coast. So I also want to say that if you go to blackpeoplesmarch.com/endorse, this is where you can endorse this campaign. You can fill out the form. It's a very brief form. You just let us know who you are, what is your organization. You see it there on the screen. Thank you so much for our Zoom engineers who are always on top of it. And here you will just indicate that you endorse, name of your organization, how we can contact you, and we will be reaching out to everybody who has taken the time to fill out this form. And again, after you submit, we will be following up with you, as well as we want to encourage, as the Sister Belinda said, and I see your hand is up, Sister Belinda, so I'll turn it over to you in just a moment, to get on the bus. So you can do this by going to blackpeoplesmarch.com, and then you can go ahead and click transportation, or scroll down, there you go, and click the get on the bus tool right there. So I'm going to turn it over to Sister Belinda very quickly while I just switch positions here, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you, sis. Uhuru.
And also got popcorn.
Uhuru. Yes, I just wanted to add that, we're talking about getting on the bus, and, I want people to understand that, their personal involvement is critical. Their personal involvement is critical. I hope you can hear me. And that, a lot of people, it's very important that you show up for November the 4th. Organize your bus from your community. It's so important, people, that you understand that all the things that we have been struggling for, all the things that we have been waiting for, this is an opportunity for us for achievement, for us to actually deliver for our people. So don't stay at home on November the 4th. Don't sit around and watch TV, young people. Don't play the video games. Put that stuff down, stop that, and organize, get out right now and go to the link that we just put on there. If you need information or more information, just Google Uhuru movement, the Uhuru 3, and all information is going to pop up, because this stuff is going worldwide right now. It's going viral for November the 4th. So we need you to really stop and think how important it is for your involvement, your presence, to be there with us. Thank you.
Uhuru, yes, yes. Let's get out from behind these screens. Let's be on the ground. Let's, make it real. And actually, that's a great segue, Sister Belinda, to our next section, because we're calling on people to, again, and it's already started in the chat, but to give commitments, say that you will be there on November 4th. And I want to also appreciate some more donations and pledges that have come in. I want to appreciate Sister Belinda for your $30 pledge, Uhuru, Sister Belinda, Parker Brown, and Comrade Matum for your $25 donation. And I am throwing in a $20 pledge, which I will take care of following today's webinar. So that takes us to, I believe, 330 right now. So we are 170 away from reaching our goal for today. So if you have that, throw it in the pot. And if you want to help pledge that, if we have enough people on this call to put in enough for us to reach our goal for today, comrades, that would be a win. So, but again, we are winning. So let us know in the chat. And if you are following on Facebook or on YouTube, let us know that you will be there on November 4th. And also another pledge from a donation from Penny, one of the Uhuru 3, $20. That takes us to $350, 150 away from our goal for today. So Uhuru, comrades. And again, I just want to say before we close out, unless there's any questions that we have missed in the chat, and I just see a lot of unity and support for where we are in this period and what we will be taking to November 4th. But, this is an opportunity for anybody to ask questions. This is a brief meeting, but I do want to appreciate those who are on. And last thing I want to say is I want to actually see if Comrade Penny, you were on this tour with the chairman who just finished a really powerful Northeast tour for the reparations, for the verdict is in, reparations now. And I wanted to know if you wanted to share anything about, this tour. And just as we, begin to wrap up for today. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Well, this has been such an inspiring meeting, and I'm really looking forward to the 15th annual Black is Back, Black People's March on Washington, November 4th. Very excited to be there and be part of the reparations contingent. I also had the honor of being on a tour with Chairman Omali Yeshitela and others from the African People's Socialist Party. That was amazing. It started out in Philly and Philadelphia at the One Africa, One Nation marketplace, a beautiful, beautiful market that happens once a month during the warmer months there. Then it's been going on for 18 years. It's a beautiful center of African culture. The chairman spoke there. I had the honor of being able to speak there, and there was so much support for the chairman. People love the chairman there. This is an African cultural event. And then Monday night was a beautiful event at Uhuru Furniture, and especially memorable because the Move 9, members from the Move 9, including Janine Africa and Ramona Africa, and Mike Africa Jr. came to he spoke at that, participated in that, among many others. And of course, Chairman Omali Yeshitela was brilliant and electrifying. That was very powerful. And then we were on to Newark, New Jersey, where the beautiful, beautiful African bookstore called Source of Knowledge, right in Newark, where the chairman had a book signing there. So many books, people, just an outpouring of support there. So many people came out to that, very powerful. And then on to the Harlem Book Fair, where the chairman had the new book, The Verdict is In, had a booth there. It was rained out, but was held inside and sold About more than a case of books there. So that was very, very exciting. And then Sunday was an amazing event in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, at the African Heritage Center, which is actually in the district of Charles and Inez Barron, council people, Charles and Inez Barron, and they attended it as well. Very, very, very moving and very powerful to be there as well. So, wow, what a tour. Very exciting. Just got back yesterday and on to Florida and then on to the West Coast tour. Very excited about that, Uhuru.
Yes, very excited. And thank you so much. We look forward to getting some photos and all that, up on the website and on our social media so everybody can see just what Comrade Penny described. And yes, on to Florida this week and then off to the West Coast, starting in Oakland and then moving down into San Diego and California so you can, and Los Angeles. So you can find more information about these events by going to handsoffuhuru.org/events. And if you want to bring the chairman to your community, the chat moderator has put it in the chat here on Zoom and we'll make sure it gets on the other platforms. Email us at events@handsoffuhuru.org and we will, be happy to help make that happen if everything aligns. So as you know, the chairman has always, loves being amongst the people. So let's bring the chairman everywhere and spread the word. So comrades, we are at $400 raised. We are about to close out this really exciting meeting. We want to appreciate everybody for being here on today. We are at $400 raised. I want to appreciate Comrade Angelica, who is who has made a $50 pledge. So Uhuru, Angelica, and I want to also read in the chat because Angelica, who is a member of the St. Louis or the Missouri Green Party, has put here in the chat about an upcoming event. She says Green Social Thought, if you go to greensocialthought.org, has just endorsed the November 4th Black People's March. I pledge $50 and the St. Louis Green Party has a solidarity Zoom event that's coming up. It says that there's no freedom in silence. This is what this event is called, and this is coming up on October 4th. That's next Wednesday, actually, at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. So you can go to Missouri Green Party Facebook page to find out more information. Thank you, Comrade Angelica, a very solid comrade who's on the ground in St. Louis, and look forward to seeing you again, Uhuru. So again, as our chat moderator says, let's continue to fund the legal defense. We want to raise $500 today. So as we close out, we look forward to seeing some more donations come in. And if you have donated and you want to pass it off to someone else, let them know what they are supporting. They are funding a fight back against this colonial state, whose goal is to take everything from us. And we are saying that the people are marching, the people are responding. $1, $2, we are there. So Uhuru comrades, that takes us to the end of our call for today. Thank you for joining us. We say hands off Uhuru, hands off Africa, Black is back, and forward to the November 4th Black People's March on the White House. Uhuru.
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 Uhuru. Freedom.
Uhuru.
Freedom. Touch one.
Touch all.
Touch all. Uhuru.
On the move.
On the move.
On the move. Let's go. Get up.
Yeah,
let's do it. Going down.
Yes, it is.
Uhuru. We're taking all these chants to the White House. Uhuru.
Uhuru.